Hey, I hope you're doing well. I hope whatever insanity in the world is weighing heavy on your heart, that you have already found a way to transmute it into something more pleasant. It's all energy, remember that. I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes, kind of meditating and wondering, like pulling some cards and wondering what to talk about or what to even do. I didn't really have a plan for this. But the way it felt was that someone was watching, that there's like interference in the signal that I was trying to tune into. And it was like my own signal that I was trying to tune into. It wasn't, external of me, and there was still that interference and a sense of being watched. And it didn't feel malicious. It just felt like the card that came out in the fairy deck was about trickster energy. So knowing what we know about energy itself, and I'm assuming you know a little bit if you're watching these channels because we're kind of sharing a frequency. So predicting the future with cards isn't really reliable because you have so many choices to make, and the energy that's brought to you to bring about the manifestation, we all sometimes dismiss it as a happy moment that just happens really quickly, or a moment of insight that you don't write down immediately. You're like, oh, I'll remember that later. And it's those moments you're supposed to follow. Those moments that are in your energy field that elevate you. And there seems to be something or someone messing with that for you. For a lot of us. So I don't want to do a reading on what's coming or who loves you or none of that stuff. I want to do a reading on you, and I mean you because when you're watching this reading applies to you. What you're hearing isn't getting, like, if someone else was meant to be hearing it, they already are. So which means it's meant for you too because you're listening to it. You kind of are required on your part in these readings to be able to see beyond just the words, because the words are being used to describe a form of, it's like synesthesia, having all the senses intertwined and, trying to describe a glimmer of light in English. So apply it to the structure of your life and see the advice in it. You get to choose what you're bringing about. So watching readings that tell you what's coming or anything like that, you get to choose what in that you bring by being aware of the energy that comes through you throughout the day. It's like waves of light, and each moment in that light, like if you're going to put it in segments and draw lines through it, each motion through that is you moving through time. So if you want to get to, the metaphoric pot at the end of the rainbow, the pot of gold, or the pot, you want to follow the light, which means if you're attempting to, I don't know, whatever you're trying to do with a card reading, whatever the intent is, hopefully good. You want to, so if the goal is, a love for yourself, or, a relationship of some kind, or to better that relationship, throughout the day you're going to have thoughts come to you that say, maybe I should call this person, or, maybe I should buy them a cupcake for dinner or something for dessert. I don't know, you'll get some random thought that brings you a step closer. So that's how the energy comes to you to be manifested into what you want to experience instead of, hoping that it just happens to you. Because you have to play a part in it too. And this interference energy seems to be like in those movies where there's somebody that keeps going around the corner and you're following them around the corner, but they're just down the other corner. It's like that tricky energy of someone leading you astray, away from what you want. And you keep kind of falling for it like a fairy going for something glittery. Sorry, fairies. So I'm hoping, God, 6 minutes already. I'm hoping that when we're doing this reading, you're going to be aware of what you're feeling. And if thoughts come to you, write them down. If you hear something that brings up a feeling in you, pause the video and write that down. That way later, and tomorrow, when you've probably forgotten most of this reading, you'll have that piece of paper to look back on and be like, these are the things I need to be watching out for. This is what I thought I should be doing at that moment. Because when a lot of us, when we watch these videos or watch any videos online, there's so many moments of clarity that happen. And if we write them down and look at them later, it kind of solidifies them in our energy field. That way, whatever interference is there or would be there would have to, try harder, kind of, to get you off your path. Okay, now that that's all done, I'll put a note in the description, so I hope, whatever. Let's start. It's right around the 7-minute mark. We're not going to say I'll put a description in the video. I felt such a sense of like the air lifting, like the air felt lighter. Queen of the Darkwood Elves, premonition, foreshadowing, and mystery. That card, when I was shuffling earlier, it kept flipping over. And I was like, I'm not looking for the future, I'm looking for now. It was after the trickster card. So you know about this interfering energy. Look, bottom of the deck. Rituals, power, and will. Oh, the hilarity. Astrid, love, fire, sensuality, and fertility. Aren't these cards pretty? Look at this. Okay, so I'm reading this. Hold on a minute. You know what's going on. Like you have a sense of knowing that someone's watching you. And it's so weird saying that because I know this video is going to be online. But this isn't about me. Someone's watching you. And you've known about this, and it's like the only people that don't really know this is so strange. It's almost as if I'd be spoiling it for you if I tell you. There's a sense of silence in these two cards. Like a deep inner knowing, like you know in the depths of your being and what you love and who you love and how you love. The pathway that you've created for yourself from what you remember to who you are and what you think is going to happen. Lily's bolting from one window to the other. So much on your path ahead is a mystery still. You don't know the shade of leaves, like the shade of color the leaves are all going to turn. So you're trying to like, your energy field seems to be turning into this like geometric shape, but it keeps falling apart. You're trying to maintain this structure for yourself that has blocked out an aspect of you that is really, really passionate and sensual, but in a aligned with self and God kind of way, like a primal force of nature. And you know this about yourself, but you've been hiding so much of yourself and scattering it across all these different places that you thought you would find some peace in it. Like you know what's going on, you can see it from all aspects, and you know even the interference doesn't matter. There's a mystery that you enjoy about it, so you're kind of just allowing it. And the more you're coming into this sense of who you are and the passion in you, the sensuality, the way you kiss, the way you move, the way you Hey Lily, what you doing? Come on. Come on, my lap is way more comfy. There you go. If I was doing an energy scan on someone in person with these two cards, it's almost like your sexual energy has been tapped into and made like it's not your own. And there's been this like mystery about what you like and what you don't like. It's almost as if you never even questioned your sexual identity, your sense of who you are, as if you knew it. It was just something that was, you know, like a star in the sky. It's always there. I mean, why would I ever question it? But there is a sense of this energy that's so deep, that's so, you know, when you think of the ocean and how blue and dark it is, but what if it wasn't blue and dark and it was a deep ocean of warmth and red and like the comfort of a pile of leaves at the same time? This really sensual, physical aspect of you that's shrouded in mystery, but only to you, not to the people you're around. Like they see this part of you that when you walk, it's like you walk like you're on a catwalk, like you own the world, but you hide it, kind of like you downplay it. Like you can fly, you're probably, you know, able to travel through space, but you don't wear a good pair of shoes. It's just so strange. It's like your sexual energy has been tapped into and drained, and you thought the way you are without those lower chakra systems in your body being on a healthy level, you didn't really see how you were. Like you thought it was just normal to be this way. This energy around you really is, it's so loving. It's so gentle and like it caresses the skin, like a cool breeze on a warm day. Oh, why would you deny that? The interference has been in your system of self, thinking that your future is going to end up in a certain way, and you were ready to give up a part of yourself because of it. readiness, bounty, and plenty. Frigga. Atheling, nobility, grace, and gratitude. The wild hunt, excitement, frenzy, and journey. That's a lot of cards, goodness. The solitary, dedication, self-love, and focus. The Mabon, shining, hope, and future. But it was upside down. Elven touch, recovery, comeback, and revival. Oh, that's the Green Witch, fresh new spring. And the Wizard, Rune King, wise one, chance counselor. So your first two cards, premonition and sensuality and passion and fires of love. And you get to Frigga, and you're ready, you're bountiful, and you feel like your life's good. But if you look deeper, all of these women, there's such a sadness about them. Like they became this way because they had to. This energy has been making these spectrums of color because it's the only prism you've allowed that light to go through. It's like taking a color out of the rainbow. You've tried to remake this color with, different forms of magical practices, of different forms of self-love, doing things on your own, thinking that there's, no hope or anything for the future. It's just you in this bubble of your own reality, and no one's going to know who you are or what you are. Oh. But there's a sense of excitement in you. You want to travel, you want to go on an adventure, you want the lights to move faster than the swirl. Like you're swirling a tie-dye shirt. You don't want it tie-dye anymore. You want it to be like flashing lights and screaming children and dancing and people having fun, and like Tron movie lighting and, space age and all that. You want something different. The future has looked so boring to you because of so many premonitions and foretellings and mysteries you've dug into. Like, you've been trying to make sense of this world all this time, and you haven't realized that, or the moments of realization you had, you attribute it to just, silly sensuality. But that's your power. That's where you get your grace and your nobility. When you're grateful for the joy of being able to feel sexual energy and pleasure and romance and the simple act of hugging someone and feeling their heartbeat. When you can feel that appreciation and allow that sensuality to flow through you, it builds up an excitement in you like a lightning bolt in the clouds waiting to strike down right before all the rain comes. But denying that for yourself and looking into the future as if there's nothing, that you're done, like there's no hope for you or something, takes away from the self-love. And even this future card, the shining bright and future, looking back at the dedication, self-love, and focus, which looks very similar to Astrid in the love, fire, sensuality, and fertility. So it's like this was the fall. You thought that, you foreshadowed a end for yourself that wasn't true because you didn't know most of the mystery around what was going on. You thought that this energy field you're in, this way of being, living, it was going to be that way forever. and you try to handle it with grace. But the more you move forward into the future in your journey, you keep going back to knowing that you've got to love yourself better, which means allowing other people to love you, to see you as the person you are now, not as the person you were. This interloper interference energy seems to be a benefit. It's trying to get you to recover from the pain you've been through so that you can start something new, instead of looking at the wisdom that you gained and thinking that it's broken you in some way, that you need to keep going back to loving yourself to be better. But you've gotten to a point where your energy system really wants to be experiencing something real. Someone you can talk to, like a counselor, not a paid professional, but go see one if you want to. But someone that sees you, that comprehends who you are. And this card, the nobility, grace, and gratitude, is looking down over here at recovery, comeback, and revival. So you've been suffering in this point in your life, in this energy field where you thought you're less than who you are and you're destined for some fate that's just, set a certain way because it's been a premonition or a foreshadowing. And you found some grace in that. You're like, you mastered that energy. Yeah. Well, come on. Yes, come on. Did you get it? Did you catch that little choo-choo? Oh, good job. Yes, I know. Yeah. You're fluffy, I know. I can read this for you 1,000 different ways, and the story is going to be the same way. And it seems to be, regardless of how I interpret this for you, you already know. I keep seeing the world and people all over the world as if they're just on a being's clothing, and the people are all right there. And they're all, destroying each other and fighting and crying and blaming and trying to, uplift the other ones. And they're just doing all sorts of things, entangling themselves all sorts of ways. But some still aspect of you, some knowing, you know that everything you're going through is for this. It's foreshadowed after all. This energy feels so sacred. I don't know why you seem to think that you're less than what you are. It's almost like you're afraid of the potential of what you could be. But that's just too bad. Because if I just look at this as a snapshot, you are headed for a great, great relationship and marriage and future that's so bright that you can't see exactly the glory that's coming to you and through you. You have done everything right for your life. Everything. There's no interference in this. The interference in this is you looking back at how you treated yourself and how dedicated you were to you, to your own revival. Do you see that? Oh, wow. Look, it's like a little angel standing. Like, oh, wow. Okay. All right. No wonder. You know, this card, when it came out, I thought of Odin. I won't even get into the numerology of this. There's so much. This is a 4, it's a 1, so healing and a stable structure of the future and yourself. And you can't no matter how much you dig to see and make sense of it so that you stop being afraid of what's coming, it won't work. It's a mystery for a reason. It's a premonition and a foreshadowing for a reason. Choices will influence the outcome because there are infinite outcomes. More than the stars in the sky. There are infinite ways the future can unfold. There's infinite ways your energy can still shift. Utilize that sexual energy in you. And it doesn't mean intercourse. It means sexual energy. You know what it feels like when you have it flowing through you. Don't explode. Maintain that energy and be ready and bountiful and plenty all the time. Do as the 12 did. Learn how to move the energy through your spine. Find that sensual, watery, like oil on a canvas that's covered in infinite colors of light. That oh, there's no word to describe it, but you feel it when you are allowing that energy to flow through you, that love fire, and you maintain it, and you're bountiful. You know what I mean? Don't explode. When you're excited and you're in frenzy, use that energy to go like a sage, like a master, and move through your day with that energy. Dedicate that energy to your self-love. Focus it into the present moment of who you are, not the future, not a hope that things will happen, not into a explosion of shining light, but into you, into your organs, into your heart, into your mind. Bloom. Bloom, don't go boom. That way, goodness, that way your body can recover that graceful elven touch. Can you even begin to imagine what it would be like if a being of pure light came and touched you on your hand? You would probably get, your goosebumps would get goosebumps. But you have that sensuality in you to be able to touch like that. For your touch to reignite the neural network within these beings that you come in contact with, to awaken them. You have the power of gods in you, but you can't use it if you dismiss your love fire. Because from that comes new growth. She didn't expel that energy. She let it grow within her. Let your roots run deep. Let the sound of your being echo through you. That's how you see premonitions. That's how you foreshadow the future. You come in contact with your pure energy and you master it and dedicate it to yourself. I don't want to say it, but the bottom of the deck was Mary Magdalene when I picked this deck up. So if she comes out again, we know who's been overlighting this reading. Achilanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. You know, I just saw an eclipse happening, and it was like the sun was behind the moon, and it was, as it was going, this part of her was cracking, and as the light went, or the thing blocking the light went that way, the cracking stopped. So maybe, if in some way this is some divine message to you regarding the future, there might be something going on around the eclipse that you might think would break you. Oh, weird, look, that looks like the side of a face. Someone's got your back, don't worry. Whatever happens, if you feel like you're breaking under pressure, or you're in so much pain that you don't know what to do anymore, it'll all be better, probably by the next eclipse. Something's changing, and I just heard the very foundations of the earth. I see a like a, how do I even describe it? It kind of looks like this part, little vines kind of coming out of the earth into the root of a lot of people that are sitting on the earth, and those people were lighting up the planet like little different colored birds on a Christmas tree. And it's like there's a swirling energy that comes in from this atmosphere around them that they pull into, and it seems to, like, look right here, it seems to go into the red, like back into the earth. And it's something about the eclipse. It's almost as if the moon itself is going to be glowing even more. And it's like there's more suns in the sky than we know. Sarada Devi, the Divine Mother. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. So don't refrain from, obviously, judgment. Really, I'm drawing a blank to even communicate something after that. What you're looking at, what's being shown to you, the things coming at you from social media, from the spectrums of light, the sheeple down there. Don't judge it. What you're looking at is your energy field and the imprints of other people's energy fields that are traveling through the tapestry of life, the root system, the web. Don't judge it. Don't get entangled and think everything is broken and underground and covered in fog and mist. You're not underground. You're not broken. The world is not messed up. Don't judge it. There's something going on. A mystery that's beyond human comprehension. It has to do with the stars. So nothing you try to judge because of something regarding that has you feeling a certain way about it. Look at it instead like a divine mother, a goddess that is never not broken. Nothing they do can break you, ever, no matter how horrible, no matter how kind. It has nothing to do with you and your judgment. It's your energy field. It's the spectrums of light that are being reflected off of your iris, your two eyes. And if you're looking at that energy field without a sense of sensuality and nobility and grace and gratitude and excitement, and knowing that everything has this mystery to it, that you can never put that mystery into a judgment of some kind. Because really, when you look at anything in life, you immediately have some kind of judgment for it. But if you look at everything like as if you're staring at a single picture in front of you right now, just a picture from peripheral vision to peripheral vision, everything in your eyesight, as if it's just a stream of light that is being translated by your irises. It's not actual 3D, it's not distance and time and space or any of that. It's just light being poured, water being poured as light through your iris, and this is what you're seeing it as. So don't judge it. Look at what you're looking at as if you're looking at tie-dye being swirled, and for some reason you stopped that swirl in this image that looks like these cards, this TV screen or whatever you're looking at, and the room you're in. Don't judge. Some stuff is going on in your energy field that you're unaware of. Utilizing that sexual energy within you with grace and nobility and dedicating it to yourself will reveal to you that no matter what you thought broke you, you weren't broken. You can't be broken because you are everything, and that means you're already broken. You have brokenness in you. You're everything. You're connected to everything. So, like, what's the point of being afraid of being broken? It's just adding more to your beauty. If you really look at everything in your life with unconditional love, everyone has their own free will, so do you. Everyone can make their own choices, so can you. If you look at this photograph in front of you, and allow it to shift. Allow your perceptions to change and allow your judgments to cease. You'll move into a different timeline based on the swirls of energy around you that are constantly moving and renewing. You've been experiencing this for a reason. Hopefully you found that reason and you're moving into the future version of yourself with grace. Because the worst thing that I felt or picked up in this entire reading is your fear of being sensual, of dancing, of singing, of I'm seeing like those it's like a crystal tub and there's like flowers and vines and crystals and candles and bubbles in this tub, and there's beauty, and oh my god, it's undescribable. And there's like toes peeking out from the water, and there's just light, and this person, I see their hands, it's like they're drinking something, like maybe champagne. I don't know, maybe it's like apple juice. Do you see what the message is coming through? It's like you're getting ready for a wedding and you're looking back at your entire life before you put on your veil to walk out the door. You've grown so much. Bottom of this deck is Lilith, the first woman. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. I think that's pretty much self-explanatory. You get to choose. Don't let your past experiences predict your future self. And stop trying to manifest your future self. Feel what it's like to be your future self before you even think about being a future self. You manifest your reality. You are everything. Recognize your own energy. I mean, really, this is divinity and incarnate, and you're going by premonitions and foreshadowings of a world that's not yours. Like, you're here to change the world. You're not here to live their story. Yikes. Oh, you blocked that part of yourself out because you were holding on to something or someone in your energy field that was keeping you stuck. But it wasn't them. It was the energy you used and the things you judged in that experience that were keeping you stuck. So the way I'm seeing this is, this was the temple of your body that you're blocked out of. This energy field that you had access to, this love fire, was blocked because an interaction between someone else in your life caused you to judge and behave in a way that was less than what you know yourself to be. So in the way you acted, you felt like you broke yourself and them, and you felt ashamed because of it, and like you abandoned an aspect of yourself and thought you weren't worthy of it anymore. And that person, the other person that was involved in it, like they just came in to play a role and they left.